If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference. Become a moment maker and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count.
Sweetheart.
Hello.
Hey, long time no see, everybody. We're just coming out of the holiday break, and we took some time off just after Christmas. So happy New Year. And Andrew is just getting back from Germany and a bunch of other places. So
4 countries in 7 days. I can't wait to talk about it.
So here's the deal. Our podcast spun off a nonprofit 3 years ago. After we started this podcast, I found that there's a lot of broken souls out there. So I wanted to do more. So I started a nonprofit, and what the nonprofit does, it's first of all, it's called Minutes Wisely. And you can check us out at minuteswisely.com. We're doing some great things, sending veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members to it used to be sporting events. Not everybody likes sports. I don't know why people don't like sports, but some people don't. So we started sending people to concerts, and we have a couple other things up our sleeves here in the near future. But the first thing I did when I started the nonprofit, I purchased Detroit Lions season tickets for a couple different reasons. For one, I love the Detroit Lions. I'm from Detroit, even though I live in Middle Tennessee now. But I cut my teeth in the veteran organizations in Detroit area. I've held a bunch of seats up there. I was even the Veteran of the Year up there in 2011. So I wanted to bless my hometown first. So I started up there, and it quickly became not just the hometown thing. We started, sending people from all over to Detroit to see games. And so wrapping up the 2024 season, Detroit Lions season, as we all know, they're doing well this year. So with that comes a bigger price tag. The Detroit Lions raised their prices, and I'll be transparent as possible with everything. In the years past, I was paying about $2,400 for an entire season for 4 tickets. That price tag went up to $4,800.
Damn.
And yes, and so I made the decision, like I feel like I could utilize $5,000 elsewhere, right? So I decided not to spend the money in Detroit and focus on maybe the Nashville Sounds or Preds or yeah, there's a whole bunch of things I can do with $5,000, right? So I wrote the Detroit Lions a nice letter, and I emailed it to my rep. And then I took that email, I copied it, and I pasted it in a social media post.
Yeah, you did.
And then things started happening after that. I got a couple text messages. One guy was in California. One of the guys that we interviewed a while back, Frank, the federal lawyer. Remember him, Frank?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So he's a Marine who's a lawyer. He's the first one that reached out and said, "Hey, why don't you ask your fans if they all pitch in? You know, like you have like 1,000 Facebook friends. If everybody pitched in $5, you would cover it. And I was like, I'm already set. I'm just not going to do it, because I was pretty bummed that they did that to their loyal fans, right? So no, I just really do feel like I could utilize that money somewhere else. And then somebody else local texts me and says, "Hey, I love what you're doing. Don't get rid of your Lions tickets. Let's do a campaign and see if we can't raise money." I said, "Nah, I'm pretty, pretty set on this." Well, he went ahead and put on his social media, "Hey, my buddy Richard Fleek's running this nonprofit, Minutes Wisely. He has to give up these tickets because the Detroit Lions raised their money." When I woke up the next morning, I was checking my email, and I use GiveButter for my donations, and I had a bunch of emails from GiveButter, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" That night while I was sleeping, roughly $1,800 had come in from that post that people were stepping up or like, "No, don't give up your your tickets. Here's some cash." And then so the first 24 hours brought in about $1,800. And then I think the next 48 hours after that, so a total of about 72 hours, a total of about $3,600 came in.
Nice.
So I decided, apparently, it was meant to be. So I'm about $1,400 shy. I have a couple things up my sleeve. So it looks like we're going to keep the Detroit Lions tickets. People love it. I love it. But so we the people have spoke, right? I didn't even ask for this money. They just started donating. So I just wanted to thank all of our followers who stepped up. And, one person donated $1,000. A couple people donated $500. But all in all, close to $4,000 came in. So also to wrap up the last $1,800, $2,000, I'm doing football squares where I'm doing a national championship football square for $25. The winner can, each quarter is going to pay $250. Will go to the winner. $250 will go to the nonprofit. Total of 4 quarters. So that will bring in $1,000 to the nonprofit. And I'm also going to do that for the Super Bowl. So that'll round up the $4,800, and the Detroit Lions tickets will be completely paid for with no payment plan or anything. Just flat out, here's a check. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody and let them know that is very much appreciated, and we see you guys. So big shout out to the community, the TSP community.
Thank you, TSP community.
There's some other things that transpired through that, but I don't really want to talk about it until it's official. But we have a lot of irons, so to speak, in the fire. So very soon I will be able to unleash the Kraken.
Please, unleash the Kraken. That's a good one. Good one. I got one announcement. We have Veterans Day on the Hill coming up January 29th at 09, where veterans can go talk to our congresspeople and senators and all that kind of stuff. And Minutes Wisely, thank you. Minutes Wisely will be hosting the breakfast. It's a Minutes Wisely / Ton Tavern / VFW hosting the breakfast. I already got the 15 gallons of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I just got to go pick up the croissants and the pastries and all kinds of stuff. But we'll be up there at 9 o'clock talking to our senators on Wednesday, January 29th. So if you are a veteran in Middle Tennessee and you want to sign up and we want to go, let me know, because I've got the sign up sheet.
What day did you say that was?
Wednesday, January 29th.
I will be in Detroit, Michigan, so I will have to pass this time.
Well, we got a bunch of organizations, the MOAA, American Legion, VFW, Ton Tavern will be there. The board member from Ton who lives in Tennessee, he'll be there. Plus about 5 DAV and a couple others will be there. So it's gonna be pretty good. It's always a good time. This is my 3rd Veterans Day on the Hill, so it's gonna be fun.
Yes, awesome. And Also I want to throw out there, the playoffs are right around the corner, and Detroit will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs because they did so well. And the organization has playoff tickets. I just paid for our playoff tickets. So if you're a Detroit Lions fan, you want to go to a game on Minutes Wisely. That's what we do. We send veterans. Let me know. I'll put your name in a hat.
Sean Becker, this is to you. Okay, we're trying to get you on the podcast, and you're a Detroit Lions fan. So if you're watching this, Sean Becker, who I served with for 3 years, give us a call.
Yeah, shoot us a DM. If you go to Minutes Wisely, it's got my phone number. It's got my email address. It's got my address. Everything is right there. If you want to go to a Detroit Lions game, hop over to minuteswisely.com. Give us a holler. I would love to send Mario Fields to Detroit for a game.
Mario, you hear that, buddy? Mario, Sergeant Major, Mario Fields. Give us a call.
Smurf up in Michigan. You remember Smurf, the pilot that ejected? He lives in Michigan. Yep. I reached out to him today. I said, "Hey, sir, are you're in Michigan. You ever make it to Detroit for games?" And he said, "No, it's about 4.5 hours where I'm at." He's in northern Michigan. I don't know if you remember the interview we had. He was in his car, and we're like, "Man,
dude, he was in his car. He was in his car doing the interview. I love, dude. That was a great one. But
it was a great one.
But without further ado, I mean, we've got 11 minutes talking about our shit, which our shit is good. But we want to hear about Richard Fuller, our esteemed guest, who I had the pleasure of meeting. What was it? 4 years ago?
Yeah,
4 years ago. 4 years ago, I had the pleasure of going on a cruise. Sponsored by this organization, which is not called this anymore. It was called the Purple Heart Cruisers. And if you got a Purple Heart, you would get online and look them up, and you would apply to go on this free cruise. And now it's called something else, and Richard is going to get into that later. But Richard, please introduce yourself, and please tell us who you are and what you're doing and where you came from and all that happy horse shit.
You just hit your mute button there, sir.
Unmute yourself.
There you go.
He did it. Technology works.
I did. That technology, that's I don't even have a computer. I finally had to get one because of this organization. So I didn't have a computer from the time I retired.
Well, you need some internet.
I don't know what's going on with it. I've turned everything off in my house that would be connected to it. So I don't know. There's only one of our kids here, so it's not them hogging the internet tonight. I don't know what's going on.
You're getting hacked by the Russians.
Okay, we can still hear you.
Okay. So, you want me to introduce myself now? I'll be there for a second.
Yeah.
Yep, it's all you, buddy.
And he's frozen.
And you're frozen.
Richard Fuller.
Oh, there he is.
I'm froze.
Nope, now you're good now. You're moving.
My name's Richard Fuller. I'm sorry, I don't know what the heck's going on. So I'm Richard Fuller. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Originally from Atlanta, Georgia. Grew up here, and left for the Army in 1993. Graduated 2 weeks after that. I was in basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. Became an 11 Bravo. Served 22 years in the infantry. Served in every single position from rifleman all the way up to company first sergeant. I also served as a battalion operations sergeant for about 3 months. Once we redeployed from Iraq, held every single position along the way inside of the infantry, MOS, all the way. I was a drill sergeant for 3 years at Fort Benning, Georgia, during the first part of the war in 2002 when we invaded We were the lucky ones that got extended to. I feel that that's probably the best 3 years of my service that I did, or not the best years that I served. It was the best myself and being a leader during those 3 years as a than I did anything. You have to figure out how to get individuals that come from all aspects of life to figure out that they can do anything they put their mind to. And you get poor kids, you get rich kids, you get kids that are in the middle that just are trying to make a better life for themselves. And that really, really helps when you get into a combat environment to where you're able to understand how to get individuals to perform at stressful levels. And, you know, I had a wonderful, wonderful 22 years in the military. I miss it a lot, but then there's days I'm like, you know what? I got to sleep in till 8:00 today. I went to the gym for a little while. I went to Kroger to buy some milk because of the snowstorm coming, and I cooked dinner for us. And I came and got on the podcast, so it's not a whole lot of stress. So I'm not going to complain too bad.
No, that's a pretty good day.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but one of the reasons I joined my cousin here in Atlanta, he was in the 82nd Airborne during the first Gulf War, and he would send pictures back and everything. And he had some pictures of him being on a camel there in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and everything. And I'm like, man, that looks really cool. And so I joined because of that. So thank for my for those 22 years in the military. You know, all of them weren't the best, but there was a lot of good days that I can say I had during that time because of him showing me a better life. And it's completely taken care of me for the last 30 years. And it's going to continue to take care of me as long as I'm on this earth, and it continues to take care of my family. And that's just a really, really, really important thing to me, is that they're taken care of no matter what happens.
That's awesome.
And your internet's acting up again.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
I am sitting as still as I can. I don't know what the heck's going on. Golly.
It's got to be Georgia, man. There's something in the air down there.
Yeah.
It's got to be. So it's
Maybe
funny.
Army.
We switched internet providers and haven't had one bit of issue until today.
We're not open, man.
Uh-oh. He's got a customer.
Got a customer.
Andrew's at he's at the coldest night, so he's helping out the homeless people tonight because it's I think it's about 20 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, it's supposed to get to 22 tonight here in Georgia.
What is the temperature right now? Yeah, it's 28 degrees right now. So
hopefully your Lions will win this year. I hope I'm pulling for them. My Falcons not do very good this year.
Yeah, so if some things follow through, I'm looking at either getting some Falcons tickets also or somewhere else. So I'm trying to open it up to other cities.
That's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat organization that you got there. Sporting events are really, really good. I went this past weekend with me, my son-in-law, and two of my boys. We went to the Peach Bowl through Vet Tix. And, saw a really, really good football game that day. It was an amazing football game, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Really wanted Arizona State to win.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, I was too.
Sorry about that, guys. I had a client come in. I'm like, dude, we're not open until 7:00. You got to go upstairs and eat. Sorry.
Oh, they feed them also?
They at coldest nights is they feed them at 5:30 to 6:30. Then they go outside. Then they have to come back in at 7, and then we have to check them in, and we give them a cot. But this guy, he has been I've known him for 3 years, and every single year I have to tell him 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, but he just, he doesn't listen. But sorry, Richard, continue, man. I'm sorry you guys had to see that. I just
Okay.
Oh, you're good.
I just had to tell a very stubborn person to go upstairs and eat.
Yeah, I think it's very cool that what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's
It's
awesome.
it takes a toll, because some of
I
these
bet.
guys, they've been homeless for so long, that's all they know.
Yeah,
And tonight I'm looking, it's going to be 16 degrees at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I know
Yeah.
I'm going to have a full house tonight. I'm going to have like 50, 60 people by myself.
Oh, you do it by yourself?
You're going to be there by yourself.
Well, I get a guy to help me check them in and check them for weapons and drugs and paraphernalia. And then he leaves at 8:30. And then I've got these guys until 7 o'clock. Like I wake them up at 5:30, make coffee for them, and then I kick them out at 07. It takes a toll.
It's cold for them in the morning too.
Yeah.
It's going to be I just looked at the weather report. It's going to be super cold in the morning.
I know here it's supposed at 7. It's going to be 22 in Atlanta, so it's going to be.
And then I got to work on Friday, and it's going to snow. Like we're going to get, I've heard 83 inches. I saw that on Facebook. I was like, yeah, right. 83. Okay, that's good. Maybe 3. We'll get 3 inches of snow, and the whole world will freak out.
Yeah. They're already freaking out. The grocery stores are bare.
Yeah. No toilet paper, no bread.
Yeah.
It's Armageddon in Middle Tennessee.
We haven't had toilet paper since COVID, so.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard, I remember, Fuller, I remember when we moved to Georgia in 95, we got snow in Savannah in 95. I mean, it was like a dusting. But like Atlanta, you guys got like 4 inches of snow. I'm like, holy crap, when the hell did it snow in Atlanta? That was, crazy. And the world just shut down.
It does. It absolutely does. I know a few years ago they had the thing, it was called Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon.
They couldn't get home to work from work. They couldn't. My wife had left her job down at the state capitol, and and she called back to her office like, "Hey, y'all need to send people home. It's getting bad." And they didn't send people home, and like people had to stay in the building for like 4 days because they couldn't get home. So it's
wow.
They take it serious here. They've already closed state offices for Friday.
Yeah, I think I heard a rumor that they're closing schools. I already canceled my VFW district meeting, rescheduled it for February. So like people are already going crazy. But Richard, I am so proud of the 22 years that you were in service, but I want to get to the meat of this conversation, because what you're doing now helps a lot of veterans, especially those ones that got wounded in the service to this country. And I want you to talk about what you're doing and give us a little history of how it went from Purple Heart Cruisers to Purple Heart Warriors to Wounded Warrior Crews to what it is now. So, if you could extrapolate a little bit on this organization that you're now in charge of, which is awesome. I'm so glad that you're in charge of it. You are you're the head guy in charge.
Try to be sometimes. The original foundation was named Purple Heart Cruise, and J.J. O'Connor and Mary O'Connor were the founders of it. Their grand up in he got blown up in Afghanistan and lost a couple of fingers and just injured his hand really bad. And they went up to Walter Reed to visit him. And during that time, they decided that they wanted to do something for veterans or Purple Heart recipient veterans to try to help them to recover from PTSD and the depression and TBIs and stuff like that. And so they, in 2015, they had their very first Purple Heart cruise. I think they had 5 Purple Heart recipients that were on board. The cool thing about it, y'all are in Tennessee, Marcus, and that was one of the first gifts that was given in the sea bag was an autographed football from Marcus Mariota.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
cool.
pretty neat. It's continued from then. We had the break during cruise was planned and everything, and we had already paid for it, and then they completely shut it down because of COVID. So that ended up being year number 7 when they shut it down. We've had, I think, 4 since COVID, and the one after COVID was just different for us. It just it's so hard to explain. And me and my wife's talked about it a lot, and we've just talked about what we feel was different. And it was that it was such a smaller group. It was only adults. There was no children there. The husband and wives were able to reconnect and just fall back in love. That's the way I look at it, because there was just some of the relationships were struggling. You know, we've had wives and husbands say, yeah, we were struggling before we came here for that. And so we just continued to grow from there. And that's our very first cruise will be this October out of New Orleans. And that's one of the biggest things that I want us to focus on is the connection of the marriage. You know, it's going to have some meat. Going to do the sea bags. We're still going to do the dinners, and there's going to be some changes, but there's still going to be some of the other stuff that was the original founder's vision, you know. And that's one thing that in this country is really, really, really important to us, and the history of this organization is really, really important to me. Feel is very, very important to us, and to my new vision and my new board's vision is that we continue to push forward with this mission and continue to allow Purple Heart recipients and their spouses or caregivers just not being able to not being able to understand what they're going through. You know, my wife now, she has absolutely stepped up to the plate and is gonna run the woman's group, the wives groups, the caregivers group, however you want to look at it. You know, some people don't like the word caregiver, and I understand that. So we just want to make it where they have a safe place also. We do a thing that's called Warriors Time. We let the donors come in. The donors come in, and we all introduce ourselves. And then at the end of it, we always push everybody out that's not a Purple Heart recipient. That way, if they want to get into something deeper, they can get into something deeper. We don't want to, as you know, we don't really push for people to open up unless they absolutely want to. It's nothing that we're trying to get out of them. We're not trying to say, hey, let's go revisit some bad wounds and have a bad night, because I promise you can have bad nights on that ship if you don't watch what you do. So we knew that the organization was going to be no more after this year, and we kind of, I kind of was like, should I take it over or should I just make it a travel group? And I was in Idaho with my wife. That's where she's from. We go up there every July for 10 days to visit her side of the family. And we were up there, and me and her dad were out on a golf course. And I hadn't made up my mind about what I really wanted to do with the organization, if I wanted to be the president and take it over or anything. And I received a phone call on the golf course that day that one of my friends had taken his own life that was in the military. And I had just been with him back in May on a fishing trip. And, I kept asking God for a sign of how I can continue to help. And that right there was the sign that, hey, you still have a say-so in helping people with their lives and not taking their own lives.
Yeah.
That was the prettiest golf shot I had, though. It was on the 18th. That was the prettiest golf shot I had, unfortunately, after I got the phone call. But he was with me on that golf shot because my father-in-law plays that golf course every Thursday during the summer, and he's like, I've never seen somebody hit it that close to the lake. So I still three-putted it, so it didn't matter. But, yeah, that's we just want to make sure that we continue the mission and we continue to allow Purple Heart recipients to continue to build their net, the reach that they have. There's each cruise has its own chat group. Wives have their own chat group. The Purple Heart recipients have their own chat group. If somebody's in need, you'll get a message saying, hey, can you reach out to them? They're having a bad day. Hey, this is their alive day. Can you reach out to them? They're just not doing well. And it's even started with the husband saying, hey, one of my wife's got some bad news from the doctor today. Can you get your wives to reach out to them? And that's so important that where we don't feel like we're alone. It's us getting out of the military. They don't really train us on how to handle the alone time once you leave the service. And that's, to me, that's the hardest thing is to where people just think they're alone and they're not worthy to continue to be here. And that is our biggest mission. To date, the Purple Heart Combat Wounded Cruise has had 110 Purple Heart recipients on board, and not one has taken their own lives. I'm hoping our goal is to continue to add 10 new Purple Heart recipients this year. Obviously, as you know, the fundraising is the biggest thing that we have to worry about. We are blessed as of right now. I think we already have this year's Purple Heart Cruise, our Warriors Honor Cruise covered. It will, like you said, it'll always be Purple Heart to me. I always talk about it being Purple Heart. But as of right now, we have enough money to cover this year's. We are continuing to build so that maybe we can add maybe 4 or 5 more people. But like I said, I want to keep it small to where it's more intimate, not only for the Purple Heart recipients, but also for the wives. The more people you get, as you know, the more out of control it gets. And it's just hard to maintain control of stuff like that.
Well, then you become a cat herder, and it's just, if you have like 60 people, it's crazy. I remember my group was amazing. And I have to thank you, Richard, because and to JJ O'Connor and to Robert Bush and Troy Gans and all those people that were on that cruise with me. Katrina was there, and it was our first cruise. Like, the only cruise I had ever been on was on a Navy ship. And
yeah. Now you're talking.
And Fleet can attest to this because I talk about the USS Kearsarge all the time. Because Fleet, being Navy, he was on the USS Carl Vinson for his entire career. He loves that ship more than probably he loves his wife or his daughter. I'm not sure. It's pretty damn close.
Pretty close.
But that Purple Heart cruise turned us into cruisers. I mean, from there I went to Royal Caribbean. We just got back from a Viking cruise. We're doing a Norwegian cruise in 2026. And then 2027, hopefully, my wife and I will be back with Richard and Troy for the the Warrior Honor Cruise. Sorry, I wanted to get it right.
Hopefully so. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.
You're gonna be getting a donation probably in the next 24 to 48 hours from me and Katrina, because we're gonna donate and hopefully help out the cost of the excursions and the food and stuff like that. So,
well, we thank you. Every single penny counts. I had one of our sellers this last cruise. His dad asked him what he wanted for Christmas, and he's like, just make a donation to the Warriors Honor Cruise. And it's hard to explain when you get a check from somebody like that,
oh yeah,
it's just out of the blue.
It's tough. Yeah,
it is. It's amazing to see and the reason this organization has lasted so long is because of the donors. The donors are the ones that put us on the ship. The donors are the ones that continue to fund this,
Dude, I still have my swag bag. I have like the purple t-shirt. I've got the t-shirt you gave me. Like I was just wearing it the other day. I was like, this
is what we got this year.
Oh, damn.
I love it.
Well, we ordered some more for the next year's too. So we're excited. We're excited where we're going.
Can I put an idea in your head? Like I know I'm supposed to talk to Troy about this, but I want to skip the chain of command, and I'm going to go right to you. Dude, your new logo is amazing, and Fleek, if you could pull Wounded Honor Cruise up their logo, and put it on the when it goes out, when this goes out. But if you like make coins, like everybody is into coins, like the Ton Tavern guys, they just made a coin for our Ton Tavern, like grand opening. Like if you could make a Wounded Warrior, Warrior Honor Cruise coin with that new logo, oh my God, I would buy 10 of those right now. Oh my God, look at that. Holy shit. That is cool. Never mind. What?
Yes.
If you look at it, if you look at the bottom, it's got all the branches that deal with water in the water, and then all the branches that deal with air are in the air.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that on the website?
Not yet. I just got these in this week, and Sam Deeds helped me design it and everything.
It's beautiful, dude. Sign me up for one. I want one of those, like now.
And it's all 3D. The boat is raised and everything, and of course
it's gorgeous.
It's a bottle opener. You got to have the bottle opener, and it's the size of a dog tag, so it's a pretty significant coin.
Oh, so, dude, I love it, dude. If you make that possible for me to share to all my friends, I'm gonna do it.
I will. I'll have to get me and your friends on Facebook, so we'll get contact information so that we can. That's the coin company that Troy used for his coin.
Four Heroes.
I can't. Valor Coins. I need
Valor Coins. Okay.
Valor Coins. Yeah, he absolutely hooked us up and gave us a really good deal on them. And he's taking care of veterans organizations. He's a veteran himself, and he absolutely
Troy was my staff sergeant in all 3 deployments. So yes, I love Troy. I love him to death. Troy, if you're watching, hi baby, and say hi to the family. Looking forward to seeing you hopefully soon. I know I'm going to see you guys in New Orleans next year because my wife is celebrating her 49th, and I picked New Orleans, and we are sharing a 3-bedroom presidential suite of our Blue Green Vacation timeshare, and we will be in New Orleans when you guys shove off. So we are going to see you guys leave the port. We
leave on that Sunday. I think a bunch of us are trying to come in that Friday, so we have all day Friday and Saturday.
You leave October. Hold on, let me Let me see the date.
October 5th through the 12th.
October 5th through the 12th. So we get there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We'll definitely be there.
So you're standing at that. I'm standing at the National Guard barracks they have there in New Orleans.
What?
A lot of people,
Okay, well that's nice.
A lot of people don't know it's there. It's it's $60 for a room, and you can park your car there and just take an Uber. You can leave your car there all week long for the cruise and take an Uber to the port, and you leave it on base for free. So it's a pretty neat deal. It's called Jackson Barracks. It's what it's called.
Yeah. Hey, I have a cruise question, Richard. I heard a rumor, and I've seen it on Facebook, that they are not going to be next year. They're not going to allow cruise ships to come into Charleston Harbor anymore. Is that true?
I have not heard anything about that.
It must be scuttlebutt.
Well, they really only. They really only have a couple that go out of there anyway. I think it's just Carnival that uses.
It's only Carnival, yeah, exactly. Which I miss. I mean, Royal's okay. Royal's fine. Carnival. Carnival has 24-hour ice cream, which I dug.
Like pizza.
I mean, I could go down at 2:00 in the morning and get myself a cone. Royal Caribbean, they shut that shit off at 8:00. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? That's fucking ridiculous.
They're making a lot of changes on Carnival too, with food wise. They're actually reopening their midnight buffet, and they are closing their all night pizza down. Though they're going to have
Mid-Rats is open. Woohoo!
They just announced that just started back in August, I think.
But they can't get rid of that pizza. That pizza is awesome. I mean, I still dream about that pizza.
The pizza is the best pizza there is. That's my favorite meals on the ship. So
now the dinners, like with the all together dinners. Now talk about that. That's like the special time. Like I know you got the warrior time, which is great, but the special time that I really enjoyed was everybody eating together. It was amazing.
Yeah, so this year we're going to try a little different. We're going to go. We had teams when you came on the ship. We're going to do.
I remember the teams. Yeah.
With as many as alumni that we have coming. Last year we had 35 Purple Heart recipients on board.
What?
That's with 10 new Purple Heart recipients.
Oh my God.
So add a spouse to that, add children to that, and then you got your donors. Yeah, then you got your donors on top of that you've got to make time for with each Purple Heart recipient, because you want them to know their story also. So So this coming year we're going to do it. We're going to split it up a little different, where we're going to do Alpha team on one day, Bravo team the next day, but then we're still going to have it to where everybody else can sit together. We don't want people to feel like they don't have to come, but we also want to give them the option. Hey, if you want to go eat dinner with your wife one night, just go eat dinner with your wife. Have a special night with her, and we're still going to do the specialty dinner. Bob Bush, Cruising Bob, he pays for that out of his commission.
I love Cruising Bob. Cruising Bob.
He is actually on it. He just got on a ship today. As a matter of fact, he's going to be on 3 ships. He's doing 3 back-to-backs on the same ship in the same room. So
this guy we're talking about, Cruising Bob. This guy, like, if you want to know about cruises, you got to talk to Cruising Bob. This guy has been on. I mean, what is it? Over 150 cruises. Like, he knows everybody in the cruising industry. Like, he gets on board, he goes right to the captain, and he'll start shooting the shit with the captain. I mean,
he knows how to get something fixed on a boat if you need it fixed. So,
right on.
His name takes care of us.
Yeah, he does. His name is Robert. Is it Brush or Bush? It's Bush, right?
Robert Bush, and his
Cruising
organization
Bob.
is Cruising Bob.
Hey, look him up. He's got a website, man. It says Cruising Bob. I swear
He
to God.
does. He does so much. You know, it's if it wasn't for him, it would be hard to do this. And he told me he's going to help me for the next couple of years, and then I'm going to have to figure something out after that. But he has absolutely stepped up to the plate.
I'm putting myself out there, man. I like eventually, like when I get done with all of my extraneous stuff, I want to help you guys out. I even told this to Troy, like we can even do fundraisers down here for you guys. I mean, I was even thinking about doing a golf tournament for you guys. You know, they're doing like my guy, and Flea can help out too because he's very, very adept at fundraising. My guy is doing a fundraiser for the Ton Tavern, and I was like, I want to ask him. I was like, hey, can we do one for, you know, here in Tennessee and raise money just for Warriors Honor Cruise? Shit.
We'd be honored if they did. That's absolutely everybody that all the board members that could come would absolutely come. You know,
Okay.
That's anybody that's willing to do fundraising for us it goes to the top of our list of what we need to do to make that happen. You know, Sam Deeds has worked his tail off for us. He's got some other things in the works for us that's possibly gonna help us raise some more funds for not just this year's cruise, but the following on years. You know, we want to continue to build. To put 10 new people on a cruise ship, it's close to a little over $20,000, you know, and that's a lot of money to raise to get people on board. And you know, I was blessed with the Combat Wounded Cruise. They donated $17,000 to us right off the bat when they figured out that I was going to take it over. The board voted on board, and they wrote me a check and handed it to me at the going away party. So we started out with $17,000 in the bank, plus we had a couple other donations on board before we left. So before we left the boat, this last cruise, we had $20,000 donated to us to push forward with this mission. Yeah. And
so guys out there, donate to Wounded Honor Warrior Honor Cruise. Sorry. Like I still want to say like
yeah, I know. I get
the different names. I'm getting tongue tied. But guys out there, if you want to donate to something special, donate to this.
What's your website?
It's just warriorshonorcruise.com. It's got our mission statement on there. It's got everything on there about the application process. The application process is going to open up on 1 February this year, and we're going to go until the end of February, which is the 28th of February this year. And me and the board, we're going to sit down and then we're going to discuss the individuals that we're going to take. There's some of the stuff that we changed. You know, we unfortunately last minute cancellations really hurt the organization last year because of people not having passports when they're supposed to have passports, and there's just some money that was lost there that just really, you know, I want to be a good steward of the money that's given to me and to be able to continue the mission. And if people don't have the proper documentation to get on board, then I'm going to move on to the next person.
Oh, dude. Oh, and hey,
process.
Which, by the way, I want to tell all of our listeners out there, if you are in America and you travel internationally a lot, getting the global entry is a game changer. Get it. It's got a pre-check. It's global entry. You go abroad. Instead of waiting 4 hours to get through customs, 7 minutes. That's what it took 2 weeks ago. I skipped so many people. I got these looks from people. Like me and my wife, we were walking past them. We looked over and we're like, oh shit, we're all gonna die. Get the global entry. It's $120, $150, but it is worth it.
Yeah,
it comes with a pre-check
to your passport.
And it's added to your passport. and it's added to your pre-check. So it's your known traveler number. You get that, and it is worth its weight in gold. I guarantee you guys.
That's
Global entry. It's a 6-minute interview at TSA. You just got to apply for it, pay for it, and then wait for an opportunity where you can interview with TSA, which I had to go to Memphis. Okay. I had to drive 3 hours for a 6-minute interview and 3 hours back. Total waste of a day, but totally worth it.
They didn't have an office in Nashville?
Nashville. Oh my. Okay, let me tell you about Nashville. Nashville, they have no appointments for like the next year. Like, I don't know what's going on with BNA, but they need to get their shit together. Like, you either have to go to Memphis or you have to, like Katrina, my wife, she had to take a day off of work, and I had to drive down to Huntsville for her interview and then come right back up. Like, it was crazy.
we're at least near Atlanta, so hopefully they'd have some appointments.
Oh,
for
dude,
us
that's
if we-
3.5 hours. Dude, I'd rather drive to Atlanta than to Huntsville or Memphis. I'll tell you that right now. But it's getting. We're at 51 minutes. Richard, your story has been amazing. Your service to our country, your 22 years, and your service after has been amazing. Fleek, do you have any other? We have that last question, but Fleek, do you have any personal questions that you want to ask?
No, no, excuse me, but no, but if you had any like fundraising coming up, just let us know and we'll put it in the show notes so
Yeah.
people can check it out.
Okay. All right. Absolutely.
And so Richard, before we end this session, because I've got to get ready for 65 people to swamp me.
Oh yeah,
And I have to check for
You're at
weapons
work.
and drugs and paraphernalia. And I need to get my mind clear. I got to go into drill instructor mode because it's the only way that these people will listen to me. If I go into drill
You
instructor
get to
mode.
yell at them?
I don't yell. No, I don't yell. I forcibly project my
Communicate.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't slap, I don't hit, and I don't yell. I just forcibly talk to someone. And Richard Fuller, as a drill instructor, as a former drill instructor, you did a lot of yelling, but you also did a lot of forcible talking.
Absolutely.
So right now you have to tell me, what is your favorite number?
1 through 10.
Number is 11.
1 through
1
10.
through
No,
10?
sorry. 1 through 10.
1
Damn.
through 10.
I would say 5.
Oh, well, we've never had
I
a
was
problem.
thinking you're a 5 guy. I was pulling these up. So we ask all of our guests what their favorite number is, and it correlates with a question that Fleek or I either ask our guests. So number 5, what lessons did you learn in the military that you believe everyone should apply to their daily lives?
I think the biggest one is just never give up on yourself. If you give up on yourself, then you're giving up on everything, in my opinion. You know, in the military, the military is a big family, but it's also a very, very competitive family. That at least once you become an E6, and you've got to worry about the board looking at your records. You got to worry about the board looking at your records for E7, E8, and E9. And you know, if you don't continue to believe in yourself and you don't quit, you know, I never thought I would have a college education, but I knew that was one way for me to continue to be competitive within the military. And I got a 4-year degree while I was in. It only took me 15 years, but I still got it. You know, it still hangs on my wall, and that's one of the proudest things that I have that's in my house. And I could have gave up along the way during those E6 to E7 times where all my buddies were getting promoted and my number wasn't put up there, or my name wasn't on that list. And I just never gave up. I always believed in myself, and I always believed in my heart, and I always believed that this is what God wanted me to do, was to be in the military and to be a leader, you know.
Yep.
And I had one of my soldiers the other day message me back and said, he sent me a message and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that what you did as a leader for our company, that was the best unit that I did in 10 years. That's prideful for me, knowing that I woke up day in and day out and I took care of my soldiers, and they saw that, you know. And just to believe in yourself. Don't ever stop believing in yourself, because once you stop believing in yourself, you're going to be stagnant. You're not going to continue to move forward with life. And anytime I post anything on any of my socials now, I always say, one step at a time, one day at a time, because if you stop taking those steps,
ODAT, baby, ODAT.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Richard Fuller, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the time.
Hey,
and I'll get with you.
Okay. Thanks to you.
You.
Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to Warriors Honor Crews. Thank you to Minutes Wisely. Thank you to the Scuttlebutt Podcast. Because, I mean, Fleek, what are we at? We're almost at 4 years, right?
4th of July weekend will be 4 years. Yeah.
4 years. All right.
Awesome.
Hey, you know what? We lasted a long time, man. We're still going fucking strong.
Right.
I'm hoping we last 4 years. So.
Oh, you will. Guarantee it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Guarantee it.
If it's in your heart, it's easy.
But
100%.
Hey, we love you guys. Fleek, you got any saved rounds or
No, man. I just want
to
to thank Mr. Fuller for coming on. It was our honor, and we appreciate you.
Thank y'all so much.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Very good seeing you again.
You too. I'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
Just hold on 1 second.
Hold on for a second while the recording uploads.
Yep, okay. See you guys next Sunday.